up, guys? This is Alex from the Den, and we got Lil Ominous in today.
Hey, it's Lil Ominous in this bitch. You know what it is?
We're gonna dig inside this man's brain a little bit, see what's good. See to come up. This man got some stories. You know, if you've been on the internet paying attention for a bit, you know who this man is. So, introduce yourself. Tell us a little about yourself for those that don't know who you are.
Alright, so my name is Lil Ominous. I'm from Hialeah, Florida. Also, this is like a little town in Miami, also known as Chico Land. So, yeah, I like to make like horror music, horror hip hop. Like most of my music videos are just like a scary sight. You feel me? It's like a horror movie, Conjuring type shit.
So is that what ominous means? Is that like what's ominous?
So, Ominous is basically like I got that name like in 11th grade, so that I had this other rap name and I just needed something better because a lot of people weren't liking the other name that I had like Wolf in it. So what I did is I found.
So you had a name of Wolf in it before?
Yeah, back in the day, but I don't want to say the full name because then y'all gonna look up my old tracks and shit.
Shit was trash?
Yeah, it was trash, bro. Everyone has a beginning. So yeah, I needed to get a better name, and I was like, damn, like I need to also pick a name that no other rapper has. So I had picked Ominous. I looked it up, and no rapper had it though. The only person that had probably Ominous was like a DJ, but DJ stopped making music and shit.
So how you even found out about a name like Ominous?
It just came up one day in 11th grade class, and like that word.
11th grade, that man even remembers the grade.
Yeah, I remember because it was English class, and that word came up, and I was like, damn, I was about to name myself Anubis at one point, because I like Egyptian
Anubis?
stuff. Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's like the god of death, which is the wolf in the Egyptian. Like you ever seen like the wolf looking thing? That's Anubis, the god of death. And then I was like, fuck, no, I can't do that because
So
Anubis
like
is everything.
You like this darkness shit then?
Yeah, I do. Like I've always been to horror movies, like all that shit. Like that's
So
my thing.
What's your favorite horror movie?
To be honest, the one that like scared me the most back in the day was The Conjuring, and I love that shit. Like I was like, fuck, I want to get into it. I started watching like Insidious too, all those Insidious series, American Horror Story, like Friday the 13th, Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger versus Jason, like just shit like that. I just really liked it a lot, and I just liked how like every bad guy had their purpose, like why they were bad and shit. Like I really fucked with it.
And then you from Miami, but you also be represented for like Texas a little bit, right?
Yeah, cause to be honest, when I went to Texas, I went to El Paso to basically meet my dad, cause my dad wasn't really in my life. So when I met him, I would link up with other artists over there type shit, and I just fucking got like mad love from the Mexican community, and that's like the time that I actually got to know my Mexican culture because my dad wasn't in my life. I was raised by Cubans. So when I got over there, yeah, it's a big switch up. So when I got over there and I saw the love, and they saw what I was doing underground in El Paso's a small city where probably like hopes and dreams ain't really like a reality over there type shit. So when them seeing me over there, I felt like it brought kind of life, and the Mexican culture is just, I love the Mexican culture, and I was glad to like experience it, just finally get to know what my bloodline is like, you feel me?
How'd that even come about? Cause that's a long period.
Shit, fucking, I think I was more curious like to know about like what Mexicans like, what their lifestyle is and shit like that, because I was just raised by Cubans all the time, and just meeting my dad, like I'm glad that shit like taught me like all that shit. It's just a different culture, bro. It's just the food is different, tacos and shit, fucking spicy food.
Yeah, I've been hearing that shit. So the tacos is like a whole different thing from what we know in America and shit. It's like a whole different.
I'm Cuban, so like imagine I was raised eating rice, beans, chicken, or steak. with plantains on the side. Like that's like I could eat that every day. And then when I got to Mexican culture, it's like that's when I really got into like spicy foods, like chipotle peppers and shit like that. There's a thing called tinga. It's like a spicy chicken flat taco, basically. And that shit's like fire
So
as
you
fuck.
just basically got into that shit not too long ago.
Yeah, probably like 4 years ago.
4 years. So you've been into the whole Texas shit for about 4 years now.
Yeah, and my manager actually he's stationed in Houston, so I stay over there whenever, like most of the time, to be honest. I be in Houston most of the time. Shout out Ike.
How would you compare how all this music shit has happened? Cause you've been in this for a minute. So like, how you start into the music? What got you into rap? And how do you see everything now?
Yeah, so I got into rap by listening to Soulja Boy and shit, and watching him make beats and seeing him on the come up before he was signed, to the point that he signed a deal. He copped the Chrysler with the Lamborghini doors, and that shit was just sick as fuck. Seeing
a good time.
A 19, 18-year-old guy just sign his deal and have his dreams come true. Signed to Interscope, which, you know, signed big names like 50 Cent and Eminem and shit. So it's really dope to experience that. And I was like, damn, if he could do it, I could do it too. So 6th grade, me looking at him, I was just making beats. Then I got into writing and shit. And at first it was very, very bad. But my big brother, he's the type of dude that he likes like old school, like Immortal Technique and shit like that. So like I felt like I needed to make some shit that he would fuck with, like skill wise, because if not, he'll never fuck with it. So my music is kind of like trap mixed with some faster hip hop, but still has its dark side to it.
You was on the come up when like all this internet rap, everything was becoming a big deal and stuff.
Yeah.
And like you've been around for it. So like, what's the changes you've seen? Cause I know it was like a little bit where you was quiet, and now we back at it with the shit.
Yeah. So basically, I was like just trying to get my mental straight for like a year. You feel me? Like doing all the videos and shit. Like even the Hollywood Fix videos. Like music videos and like the LA lifestyle, sometimes it catches up to you. And
so you were staying in LA for a bit?
Yeah, I was staying in LA, and there's a lot of fucked up shit in LA. Like there's rich people, but then there's like people that be doing all sorts of fucking drugs and shit, and it's bad to be around that shit too, you know. So
yeah, 'cause LA's a huge scene, especially for rappers. For like a lot of that it's a very big scene. A lot of people be moving out there.
Yeah, so I just felt like I had to go to Houston more and just take kind of a break, but at the same time I was like plotting the whole time, like damn, like 2021, like I'm gonna drop a video, like I need to just drop a fucking video, and that shit needs to fucking be pushed promo wise. Like I'm not gonna do it unless I have bread to push it, and I have bread to push it, and it's doing good right now. It's like passing, I think it's at 11K right now, so it's doing very good. I just dropped it a week ago. And I'm just trying to get that momentum I had in 2018 and 2019 again.
So what would you say is different between 2018, 2019 to now?
Now I feel like I'm smarter. Like I know everything. Like I know more about BMI now. Like I know more about owning my own royalties. Like now I also have a YouTube content. Like all my YouTube content ID is like basically monitored by Create Music Group, which also works with 6ix9ine, Marshmello, people like that. And basically like YouTube videos that use my music, like they make sure that I get my royalty for that spin. So shit, right now it's just more business oriented and more smart right now, I feel.
And then as opposed to what? How was you?
Back then it was like, all right, you DM'd me, I'm much like you're a videographer and you're like DMing me, all right, I'm gonna work with you, type shit right away. Like I used to shoot videos like nonstop. Like right now I have like 23 music videos out, like because of all the fucking times that people would DM me. But now I'm just like, all right, fuck that. Like I want my content to be a certain way. So right now I'm only sticking to one editor right now. Like I have different people who have shot for me before, but they're not editing it. Like I'm only sticking to my editor. He's from Canada. His name is like Dex, Director Dex. So he's been working on my last 2 videos and shit, and we're gonna work on another video right now that we have. It's called Menace. It's a single I'm gonna drop soon.
You been in this shit for a minute, so you been through a lot of changes and shit. You was hanging out with like Pump and Smokepurrp and shit like that. Like, what happened with all of that?
I mean, basically, like, they were my brothers at some point, and the reason everything went south is because, like, yeah, I was, like, not in good terms with Pump because a lot of things, like 2017 Rolling Loud, like, I was supposed to be there, and then, I don't know, he just kind of went Hollywood and didn't answer my calls, and he had a Famous Deck show. He didn't answer my calls, and I even paid for the show just to support him because that's my brother type shit, you feel me? And he just acted Hollywood. His people acted Hollywood. And then Purrp made it worse on the Genius interview when he was like saying, basically he didn't mention my name in the lyric song, trying to say that it was an agent that told him that he can't say it, which that's bullshit. And then the fact that he said that, like, he painted my image bad in the interview when talking about me. And the fans knew he was talking about me. Then, like, probably other fans probably didn't know about it, but he was talking about me and trying to paint me like some old guy, like way older than I really am. You feel me?
Y'all like family or something like that, right?
Yeah, I mean, we were raised together and shit, so we're not like blood related, but we're basically like family. That's why, like, in the interview, he even like said that I was his cousin and shit, cause we were that close, type shit.
And fucking ain't even Adam 22 tried you on some shit, right? Cause I remember seeing, I saw the video. I saw you in the interview with Old Trap Star.
Yeah.
And then he kind of shouted you out, and then later on I seen he kind of was like talking shit.
Yeah, he tried to say my Hollywood Fix videos were paid for, which I find funny because they weren't paid for. Like, it's hilarious, and it's like, bro, come on, don't you make content? Like, we're in the industry to make content. You should know, like, we're making content. Like, why do you gotta hate and try to paint my image bad and say that I'm a Xan head? Like, I don't even do Xans. And then when he saw me in person, he was like, oh, Lil Ominous in this bitch, everybody. He wasn't expecting me that day to be there because he didn't know Trapstar was my actual cousin. And even when I got there, he's like, oh, I thought you guys were beefing. And, like, we were never beefing type shit. So it was fucking weird. Like, it's like he was, like, watching shit, and he probably saw Trap wasn't posting me, but he didn't know that I was around the whole time. So he's just a snake in the industry.
Man, y'all had like a little collective with Old Trap Star and stuff like that too, right?
Yeah, we had like Old Trap Star, I Am Lil Gut, Broke Baby, Rocket, Quill, myself. So that was like a good wave that was going on and shit. We had like the Florida scene popping, and now we got to the point that like we all kind of spread our wings. So that's why you don't see us like chilling that much together, because we're kind of like all just trying to make our own albums and shit. We don't want to be too much known as a collective, because we want to be respected as well as artists, you know. But they're forever family, even though like industry shit happens, like we're still family.
So is that something y'all still trying to push, or?
Trapstar hits me all the time to make an EP, like a collab, me and him EP all the time.
That would be pretty hard.
Yeah, we're done with that. We were supposed to have an EP because we had like 4 songs dropped, and like the most played one was like 150K. So like we had plans of doing the EP, but like family gets involved with business, like, and like it kind of fucks shit up. So like not between me and him, but like management wise, like family management wise, that shit gets interfered sometimes, you know. But it's all good. Like we all like, it's family at the end of the day. So I'm all good with my family again. So it's all good. So
going back to like back when shit was like really really popping and shit for all y'all. So I had seen you posted something on your story with it was like X was the headliner, I think it was, and then you guys had like, I don't know, Jeffrey and stuff on that.
Yeah.
And that shit really like popped up in my head because I'm a Jeffrey fan, and then I had seen like him in Florida is just different, especially for back then, because this was going back like I think it was like 3 or 5 years or something like that, and it was you and Jeffrey on that, and Jeffrey from like Memphis or something like that. So I thought that was pretty crazy. So y'all was all rocking like that back then?
Yeah. So I mean, the underground wave was like very connected back then. Like they stayed in contact, and X was like the type of, he was kind of like a quarterback, like Tom Brady. Like he would like call people up. Like when I would be with Pump and Perp, he would call them up and be like, "Yo, like I had this dream. We all blew up. Like we can't stop making this music. Like we all gotta keep doing this shit. Like trust me, it's gonna happen. It's happening soon." And this was like probably before like 2017 rolling out. Like before like doing shows in Orlando, doing shows in West Palm, doing shows in Miami. The main shit that was popping off was like shit outside of Miami, like, cause the whole scene, like, fucking X and Ski, what they did, and then Pump and Perp connecting with Fat Nick and Lil Peep and fucking Swag Hollywood was like a big reason. Like Perp even got popping in the West Coast, cause they did a feature together, and Swag Hollywood was like stupid popping in LA at the time, so. And then I guess the fans rocked with you know, the Florida wave more, so the wave started to push.
Florida had a big ass wave.
Yeah, hell yeah, that's hella talented. And Ski and X are like, and Kid Trunks, stupid, like hella talent. Like,
so how would you say shit's different from now, like back compared to like then? Cause I feel like back then was more, let's just have fun and like just do this shit, and now it's just you gotta plot the shit.
Yeah, now it's like you gotta move safe, you gotta do shit different because of what happened in the past. It's like fucking almost like history books. You gotta learn from what the other person didn't do. And now it's fucked up, but the music should always be at an art. Like it shouldn't be about beef or about views or about none of that. It should just be about music. And that's one thing like I learned going to other cities. Like you gotta show love like to other artists, like even if there's like no one in the crowd, like just show that love to that artist, because you may do certain situations where you're doing a show and you're not fucking with certain people, and you just the worst is gonna happen to you at the end of the show, because you're not in your city, you're not showing love to that city, and people notice that. That's one thing like about me, like when I go to Houston, Dallas, like I show mad love. Like I'm still connected with a bunch of artists out there, and we help each other out because one hand washes the other.
It's mad different now, because I mean back then it was like love, all that shit was in there, and now it's like you really gotta plot and like make a business plan behind what you're doing. All that shit is,
I mean, right now it's like you're competing with labels, and labels are having these plants of like people, oh, your second song is gonna be with Gucci Mane, your second song is gonna be with the Migos type shit. So all the underground artists, they have to adjust to battle that shit. But sometimes, you know, what prevails is like the music and the quality and the fan base can sometimes prevail over that. And you never know, sometimes out of one artist, you know, they get put in the right position, they become way bigger than all these industry plants.
Shit. So what you're doing now to like feed that shit, because you're an independent artist, so it's not
so
it's not as laid out for you.
Yeah, so Google ads, YouTube ads, like any type of internet marketing you could do, like you gotta expand your shit. And you know, even in your own circle, like if your own circle don't support you, then you know you gotta make your circle smaller, and you gotta have people that are gonna support you. You know, post your shit obviously, and get other people to fuck with your shit. So it's just all about doing an avalanche type of effect with the whole promo type shit.
There's so much bread in the way the industry is nowadays. Like you got fucking a lawyer on YouTube breaking down music videos, like talking about all this other shit. Just
that's what people need to be careful.
It's crazy. There's a field for everything. Like Buddy literally is out here telling you what you're doing wrong in your music video, and he's getting thousands and millions of views on all this shit.
And it's like information for the feds, because the feds are on Facebook, YouTube, everything.
How you feel about that? Because I know in a lot of your music videos, you got like guns, you got stuff like that. Like
I mean, the one thing is like all the straps on all my videos are legal straps, so there's none illegal. There's no fucking
playing smart.
There's no dirty guns with a body or none of that. You feel me? So everything's just strictly legal, and the music is obviously like I'm trying to move on to better things. Like this is an art to me. Like my past is my past. I tell stories of my past, and that's just I'm trying to be a better like T.I. type shit. Like so that's just a part of my life that I can tell people about. And when I put the horror effect into it, like it's more of a cinematic type of feel.
So then, the guns is a representation of your past, or?
Yeah, I'll say a representation of my past, or like a story that I've gone through in my past type shit. And the guns is the fact that they're being legal. It's just a Florida type of thing. Like people have that to defend themselves against all bad.
I mean, you think the Texas got something to do with that too?
Texas, of course.
You got the Texas be crazy with them gun laws.
Texas, they're like the main ones. So, I mean, when I go over there, I'll be good. So it's just like you just gotta be safe, and you can't do bad shit, because a lot of bad stuff happens to people who are involved in bad shit, and that's me saying that knowing from a position of doing bad shit. I know that it just one thing leads to another, and then you never know. Like one day can be your last day outside, and you gotta be inside for a long time.
Yeah.
So once you see that a couple,
your way out of that shit.
Yeah. So once you see that a couple of times, you don't want to be in there no more. Like you realize, like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm like throwing my life away. So I already came to that realization the past 2 years. So I just been making this music and being more on the horror side. Like this is like art to me. You feel me?
So what should the people be expecting from you coming?
So
2021, 2022.
I got more videos coming, like more content coming, and I'm excited because Houston, New York, all those places, they're gonna get the content that they've been wanting for a long time. And I got this single called Menace, and I think it's like one of my best songs in a long time, like since like as good as Scottie Pippen type shit. Like I feel like it's definitely that good. So I'm excited to do the video for that and just have everything be pushed marketing wise.
All right. That's
shout out to everyone in Florida doing their shit. Keep making music, keep making content. Don't let this industry shit fool you. Keep doing your shit, and don't stop the fucking grind. Keep trying to get as many shows as you can. Keep doing everything you got to do to make your fucking dream come true. And fuck anyone who tells you that your music sucks. Keep building. You'll see the growth, I promise. This is like basketball. It's another season every year. So just keep pushing.
all right. Y'all heard it here. We got a Lil Ominous down here at the den. Like, comment, share this shit. We doing this.
Lil Ominous on all streams, all platforms, and all IGs. Follow me.
Peace.
Hell yeah. That was good.